Afternoon, guys. Happy Saturday. Apologies, I'm running a little late. The computer decided it needed some sort of stupid update and wouldn't let me out of it. But anyway, here we are. What have we got? Man City's team is out. Spurs' team is out. Give me a second. Morning to or afternoon to Daniel Knight. Afternoon to Andy. Good evening, MFS. Was it 11:15? Is it for you down in Sheepland in New Zealand? What are we thinking, guys? What are we thinking today's results going to be? Has anyone changed their mind? Where's Gaz? Gaz is too scared to come on today. MFS. He's worried. Obviously predicting a loss, isn't he? So he doesn't want to get himself on the screen at the moment. Look, to be honest, me and Gaz have done a lot of watch-alongs together over the years, and it's safe to say normally when Gaz is on, Spurs don't win. And look, he gets a little bit sad sitting on screen. So yeah, look, he won't happen. It happens with me. I'll be on later on at, for me, 2 o'clock something in the morning to go through Arsenal versus Leeds. I'm looking forward very much to that one. I'll have to do my best not to wake up my other half as I scream the house down. Make sure you guys are liking and subscribing if you haven't done so already. Let's go through the Manchester City team. Trafford in goal. Rico Lewis, remember he's been linked with Nottingham Forest in this window, but seems to want to stay at Manchester City, and why wouldn't he? He's in Pep Guardiola's side. John Stones, Ruben Dias and Nuri at left back. Tijani Reinders, who's gone into my FPL team this week. Stupidly, though, I left Mo Salah as captain. Nico Gonzalez alongside Reinders. You feel like he's keeping Rodri's space warm. And when you look at Reinders and Rodri together in midfield, those boys are going to be seriously dangerous, seriously controlling. Oscar Bob, who I was massively impressed with against Wolves last time out, was involved in so much. Reinders was devastating, but I think Oscar Bob was equally as good. And you've got Rayan Shirky, who obviously now got himself a goal coming off the bench against Wolves. He's starting today. That shows a lot of that shows that Pep trusts him, in all honesty. And then Omar Mamouche, with that man Erling Haaland up front. On the bench, Aki Doku, Foden. Rodri is on the bench. Interesting. Kushanoff, Bernardo Silva, Mateus Nunes, O'Reilly and Ederson on the bench too. Is that because he's undecided on where he wants to play his football? The City bench, the City squad looks strong when you think Rodri, Foden, Doku, Bernardo Silva, Ederson. There's a lot of quality in this Manchester City team. Get your scores down into the chat as well, guys. I want them refreshed from yesterday. I'm still going with Manchester City 2, Tottenham 1 for me. Just looking at Spurs' next 6: Man City, Bournemouth, West Ham, Brighton, Wolves, Leeds. After the City game, they've got a very good run. Spurs, and interesting to see how they go. I thought Frank might have gone 3-5-2 today, but he's not. He's gone 4-3-3. I praise him for that. Vicario in goal, Porro, Romero, Van der Ven, and Jed Spence, who's very much made that left-back position his own. Pape Sarr, João Palhinha, and Bentancur. I'm not surprised to see João Palhinha back into this team. Kudus, Johnson on the left. He was used by Big Ange on the right previously. And that man, Richarlison, up top. I am actually surprised, in all honesty, that Richarlison starts. Given that Tottenham, during the course of the week, tried to shift him to Crystal Palace. I'd like to know where Richarlison's head's at. I think he's had a very good pre-season under Thomas Frank, and obviously started off very, very well against Burnley last week. Just seeing some movement from him on screen here, and that overhead kick, which was nothing short of spectacular. In honesty, a player with previous, having done that with Brazil in the World Cup. He's done it for Everton as well. I'm a fan of Richarlison. I don't like the attitude as much as I don't like that nose of his. But as a footballer, I actually like Richarlison. I think he's better than Dom Solanke. Me and Gaz have obviously got the bet that Dom Solanke is not going to score as many. Oh, actually, Gyökeres has scored double of Dom Solanke, and long may Dom Solanke sit on the bench, because he ain't going to score against Man City, even if he comes on today. Richarlison's more of a danger as well, I think. Guys, give me your comments in relation to West Ham 1, Chelsea 5 yesterday as well. I was up watching it in the very, very early hours of this morning. And look, West Ham look dreadful, don't they? Chelsea look good. Obviously, Cole Palmer injured. Daniel, you're down in the chat, obviously, as a Chelsea fan, worried that Cole Palmer might have a little time on the sidelines. Esteval looks ridiculous, doesn't he? I said in the video that I did on the West Ham Chelsea game, go check that one out if you haven't done so already. And those of you that have and put comments in and likes, I greatly appreciate it. But I said that Chelsea looked devastating. West Ham looked shocking. How many games does Graham Potter get before he is kicked out of the door? MFS says, Bowen, why don't you sign Bowen? Because you don't need him. You've got Elanga. You know, you just don't need him. But West Ham look bereft of ideas, and as a club are very, very much going backwards. All of the goals, to be honest, when you look at that game, if you guys have seen them or not, so many of them could have been actually defended better. They were wide open. You know, the first one, Cucurella, Paqueta falls asleep after scoring an absolute weldy, and I wonder if he'll get a move before the window slams shut. But, you know, Cucurella wins a header that he shouldn't be winning on the front post, and there's no marking on Pedro at the back. The second goal, Wan-Bissaka falls asleep. My God, I've got to get him out of my dream team as soon as possible. You know, or out of FPL dream teams back in the 90s. You know, the third goal, the same. You know, Enzo sitting in the middle of in the box. No one's defending him. Esteval bursts in down the right-hand side. The corners for 4 and 5. The keeper flaps, as I said, like in my video, like a bedsheet in the wind. You know, West Ham were terrible. And I feel sorry for Potter as well. I actually, whilst he's got to coach him, I do feel sorry for him. Let's talk about today's game. City was so good against Wolves, but Wolves were equally as poor as City were good. And this throws up a true test. If you cast your minds back 12 months to when City opened up against Chelsea, they beat Chelsea comfortably 2-0 at Stamford Bridge, and everyone was waxing lyrical about the fact that Man City would probably go on to win the league that season. They obviously didn't. They capitulated. They were out of it by Christmas. And everyone said that there was a rebuild, you know, 6 months later. And they're going through that rebuild. They've bought well this summer. The likes of Tijani Reinders, Ryan Cherki. Remember, they paid 35 million for Ryan Cherki. That is an absolute bargain. You know, they didn't, you know, Haaland looks fitter and hungry. You know, James Trafford, I think, is a good signing. I don't now believe that Manchester City are going to do the Donnarumma deal. I really don't at this stage. I think they were going to keep Ederson. I think that is the plan, to try and keep Ederson for another season. I think they've probably made promises to James Trafford that he will be the Manchester City number one. So I don't see Donnarumma coming in. And first and foremost, he doesn't play the way Pep Guardiola plays. James Trafford's been brought in because he's also good with his feet. Donnarumma is not good with his feet. So, look, Man City are impressing. I still think they've got to address the centre-half position in the coming next 2 windows. Ruben Diaz is not the quickest. John Stones has a lot of injuries, you know, and I think they still need another experienced centre-half in their ranks, which will make them so much stronger, so much better. Tottenham, they've gone with pretty much what I expected today, and it's been a disastrous week for Spurs, hasn't it? No one needs to mention that swear word that they now say in Eberechi Eze, who I believe has signed for Arsenal today. And if that's the case, he will be paraded around the Emirates this afternoon in the 5:30 kickoff, which I can't wait to see. But look, it's been a disastrous week. It was looking like such a good window for Tottenham. You know, they bought in Kudus. They committed to Danso, who I think is a really good central defender. I'm not sure why they've done Tell. Tell doesn't make much sense to me. I'm not sure where the quality is there, especially as they've got Odebear. They're very, very young. You know, they're like a childcare centre, Spurs, in terms of the age of their squad. But they're going in the right place, you know, and the more and more I think about it, the Thomas Frank appointment is far better than what they had under Ange, and Tottenham fans was, that were Ange supporters may say, well, but Ange delivered us a trophy. He won us a European Cup, and he did, but he finished 4th bottom in the league as well, guys. And that's not good enough for a team of Tottenham's size and stature. And albeit whether it's disrespectful or not, it's not the Champions League. If Ange had won the Champions League, then he deserves to finish 4th bottom and keep his job. But I think Tottenham did the right move. I think Thomas Frank has some longevity about him as well as Tottenham manager. I think he brings a really calm approach to the game, the way he deals with issues, the way you're not seeing him, looking stressed or whatever else about players. He said he's happy with the squad, and I like to hear that from managers, because Spurs do have a good squad. They have a good enough squad. They won a trophy last year, but they do have a good enough squad. What do we got here? Steve says Man City are going to win 3-1. 4-2, says Daniel. Haaland gets goals. I see Haaland getting goals as well. I completely agree about that. That's for sure. Just seeing the England women's team coming out, or 4 or 5 of the England's women's team coming out onto the Etihad pitch. Not far from kickoff. 6 minutes now from kickoff at the Etihad. As I said, it's going to be a good game, this. It's going to be a true test as well, in all honesty, for how both of these teams really are. Remember, both of them started against far weaker opposition last time out. And again, it's only game 2. If Spurs were to lose 3-0 or 4-0, does it mean anything for the overall season? No, but it may give a slightly different reflection to where we see both teams are as well. So we'll see. We'll certainly see. Looking forward to my scouting mission of how these two teams go. I don't fancy Spurs to finish in the Champions League spaces. I'm more interested on where Manchester City may or may not finish this season. I think they're going to provide a genuine threat. I'd also be interested, guys, obviously the Arsenal game at 5:30. I'm online about 5:15 for that one. Matt's joining me for that as well. I'm interested from a neutral's perspective. We've got Newcastle fans in here. We've got Chelsea fans in here. With Arsenal signing Eze, how much more does that create for Arsenal? What chance does that now give Arsenal to win this league? Because I've seen the pundits. I've seen them saying, this Arsenal team now looks like they could win the Premier League. Do you guys see that? Or do you still see that they're too short? Because defensively, we've got a very, very good back line. And if they get Zubimendi, Rice and Ødegaard working and ticking along, that's very good as well. And it leaves the balance of Saka, can Gyökeres find the goals, and the influence of Eze. And I wonder if Arsenal are done yet. Interesting, Steve thinks that Arsenal need a left-back. Miles Lewis-Skelly will be England's left-back for a long time to come. I'm absolutely convinced of that. And Calafiori is also a good left-back. But, I'd be interested to know, do you see Miles Lewis-Skelly maybe playing somewhere else? The players in the tunnels, guys. Let me know if any of you guys are watching the game whilst this is going on as well. Who do we fancy for first goal scorer? I'm gonna go with City to score inside 20 minutes. We'll go with that. Inside 15, let's be brave. Inside 15 minutes, Erling Haaland. Quick start from Manchester City, their first home game of the season. MFS says, I think Arsenal are more balanced now compared to Liverpool. That's my hot take. Both teams, though, have got a lot of players that they've signed. It's just that Arsenal's are not all first-team starters. MFS watching it on a dodgy stream. Oasis playing in the background. Currently touring. Making zillions. Teams up on screen, as I said. Trafford in goal. Rico Lewis at the back alongside Stones. Ruben Diaz and Ait Nuri, who is a very smart piece of business for me. And I think I'll talk a little bit about how City have evolved past the Kevin De Bruyne stage Tijani Reinders and Nico Gonzalez, the two sitting in the middle. Oscar Bob, Rayan Cherky and Omar Mamouche. Oscar Bob spent most of last season out injured. I'm hugely impressed with him. And super fit, superhuman Erling Haaland is the man to lead the line for Manchester City. Ruben Diaz captaining Manchester City today. Spurs, Thomas Frank being brave, going with a 4-3-3. The Italian Vicario, who can't catch a cross, but is a good shot stopper. Pedro Porro, Christian Romero, the new Spurs captain, Mickey van der Ven and Jed Spence, who's having a very good pre-season. Rodrigo Bentancur, João Palhinha in from Bayern, the former Fulham man, and Pape Sarr. Might see him playing the 10 at times. Kudus, Richarlison and Brennan Johnson make up the front line. Mohamed Kudus, a penny for the thoughts of the Ghanaian, given how poor West Ham have started this season. I am sure he is relieved, and I am sure he wants to stick it to Karen Brady after her comments about him underachieving for West Ham last season. I'm sure he will be very, very keen to show his former employers just how well he is doing now at Tottenham. Tijani Reinders on screen, Dutch maestro. Fancy Richarlison to score for Tottenham again today as well. The confidence, you can see it pouring out of him at the moment. A player that clearly plays on confidence as well. Massively expect him. Pep looking nice and calm on the sides. Guys, if you haven't done so already, make sure you are liking this watch along for me. We've got Arsenal versus Leeds at 5:15 UK time today. Make sure you're getting yourselves in the comments. Make sure you are subscribing as well. Thomas Franks had a week to forget, but all focus on the football. As I said, guys, doesn't just have to be it won't just be commentary on this game. We can talk about all things football related as the goals go in. I'll do my best to absolutely lose it as if I'm a fan of one of these clubs when one of them scores. Blue moon rings out round the Etihad. The empty had it is not today. Anyone that's in the UK, do let me know what the temperature is there today. Winter must be on its way. Good afternoon to Craig. At least they buy out for 100 million euros next summer. Craig, have you got any news up in Newcastle on Johan Visser by any chance, my man? I am trying. There's so many conflicting reports about Johan Visser. Let's all laugh at Spurs. Question is, mate, will you be laughing at Liverpool on Monday night? So looking forward to doing that one as a watch along. After today, 3 p.m, Bournemouth versus Wolves, Brentford versus Villa, Burnley, Sunderland. That's going to be a good game. And Arsenal versus Leeds. What about, as well, Nuno Espirito Santo? What did you make of the comments on Friday? Appears to have fallen out with Marinakis. I don't think that's hard to do. And also fallen out with the new director of football, former Arsenal's director of football, Edu Gaspar, as well. I'm even questioning whether or not the players signed by Forest are the ones that Espirito Santo wants or not. I question it. The game kicks off. We are underway. The clock will catch up in a second. But yes, I do wonder. Craig feels that Newcastle have pulled out on Wissa, switched to Strand Larsen is Craig's opinion. Quite possibly, Craig. Quite possibly. Let's get my stream up and running. There we go. She goes. What do we make of Edison on the bench as well? Is he really pushing for a move? Liverpool have no idea what's coming Monday. It will be Derby, like it absolutely will. It absolutely will. And I'm convinced that Eddie Howe is going to literally pin Liverpool comments and social media posts all round the dressing room at St James's Park for Newcastle. It will be hostile. Good afternoon to Zero Raquim. We will be laughing at Newcastle trying to make this game sound like a UFC match. Players getting reds and eventually dominated by Liverpool. City have started nice and high. They're inside the Tottenham half. expecting plenty of City dominance at this one. So it'll be a real test for Tottenham today, especially away from home. Brennan Johnson down on the floor. Watched a Spurs behind the scenes of their summer in Singapore and Hong Kong earlier today. Ironically, James Maddison doing the footage, and it was almost sad to watch. So he was given the GoPro, let's just say, and it started with him at his house going to the Spurs training ground. I don't know if anyone's seen it or not. Going to the Spurs training ground, boarding the flights, Hong Kong, and it's basically following James Maddison around. Little did he know on the last day before they flew home in that game against Newcastle, ironically, that he was going to suffer an ACL injury. It was kind of weird to watch it back, knowing that that was coming, and he didn't know about it at the time. But for anyone that's interested in behind the scenes players and stuff like that, some of you may be, some of you may not give a shit, but definitely worth a watch. Really is interesting to see what they get up to, you know, and stuff like that. %58 win chance for Manchester City today. I'll read back it in a moment, Zero. I promise you. So if Newcastle are going to go for Strand Larson, you still need one more. And you need a player with pace as well for me. Jed Spence fouled by Rico Lewis. Spurs have it on the Manchester City halfway line. Wonder where Spurs will go next. I did a video talking about the 4 they may look at, but then since then, Tyler Dibling's agreed terms with Everton. I think that's another positive move for David Moyes and Everton as well. Spurs expected to come back in for another bid for Savinho. I wonder if there'll be any talks today. Zero says, fans of both sides getting played by the media, making Liverpool the culprit for the Isak saga when the situation has always been between Isak and Newcastle. It's an interesting take. Newcastle fans, I think, disagree with that. Spurs settling in nicely, but it's a throw in to City. My other half is slowly being converted into a lover of Premier League football. Currently sitting on the couch on a Saturday night, been out for dinner. Sitting on the couch on a Saturday night, watching Manchester City versus Tottenham. Can't convince her to get up at 2 a.m. to watch Arsenal, though, no? I don't blame her, to be honest. Seems pretty quiet in the Etihad at the moment. Penny for Gaz's thoughts. I'll get him. I'll have to message him and tell him to come in the chat. He's watching it with his boy today. Too scared to come on. Maybe he'll be brave enough if there's a goal. Any of you that have got social media, head over to both Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, Footy Social Club. Make sure you're subscribing there. Posting shorts right across TikTok at the moment as well. So make sure you're, for the younger ones maybe with TikTok, make sure you're subscribing or following, whatever it is in this day and age. I never know anymore. Free kick to Tottenham. Pedro Porro's got it. It's going to be an in-swinger from the left-hand side. Spurs big enough here. Romero barking orders. Message Gaz. See if he's brave enough to come in. He'll be screaming if Spurs win today. Spurs go long to the back post. It's dealt with by City. Welcome to those who haven't watched the Footy Social Club before. Those of you that don't know me, my name's Christian. Very welcome into the Footy Social Club community. Make sure you're liking and subscribing. Daily content. Plenty of good regular fans that join the show. Always happy to talk a good game as well. unlike so many who ignore their subscribers. Tottenham started confidently. I like this. No shots on Spurs on Man City's goal yet, but they've started brightly. All Liverpool did was show an interest in placing a respectable British record bid. Liverpool put an unofficial link to their website in March. It was very respectful, as having Ben Jacobs push their interest for 6 weeks before the bid. Does anyone know who Ben Jacobs supports? I actually don't know. Is Ben Jacobs a Liverpool fan? Absolutely no idea. Free kick to Spurs right on the edge of Manchester City's box. Richarlison chopped down by Haaland. Haaland, that is why you're supposed to be up the other end of the pitch. It's a terrible tackle from Erling Haaland. Sive Richarlison down. I know, Craig, you're saying you think the Wissa deal's dead. Could it be Strand Larsen and Wissa that end up at Newcastle? You need two, that's for sure. You can't go into it with just one. Be no hiding in the closets on this show. Pedro Porro up for the free kick. Spurs in all black today as well. This is good territory for Pedro Porro, this. Could Spurs sneak an early goal? Remember, they won 4-0 at Manchester City this time last year. Big Ange in charge. I wonder where he is. The Greek Australian must be hiding on one of the old Greek isles somewhere, linked with the Forest job, linked with the West Ham job as well. Mourinho linked with Forest as well. Porro is about to step up, I think, here. Takes a step, whips it into the wall, gets a second chance, drives it into the side of the net. Ironic cheers from the Manchester City fans. Some of those Spurs fans would have thought that was in. Poor free kick. I think Isak stays unless Liverpool. It's interesting. I think that with the Isak situation, do we think that the bid will come after Monday night? So Tuesday or Wednesday, I think there'll be a bid. I think chance here for Mamouche. Oh, Tottenham nearly punished. Mamouche right across the face of goal. Yeah, I think that there'll be discussions between Liverpool and Newcastle on Monday. From a club to club, from a business perspective, it makes sense for them to talk, to understand where both clubs are at. Poor head of that from Porro. City fans encouraged by that. We've got a debate going on about bidding, not bidding. I think Newcastle. I think they find a middle ground. There's no way back for Isak. I know that Newcastle say there is, but there isn't. There is not. He doesn't want to be there anymore, and you can't have an unhappy player on your books. You can say that you want to stick him in the reserves and let him rot. Error from Trafford this time. New season rust showing. Kudus has it on the right. There we go. James Trafford making his home league debut for the club he played at as a boy. Had an amazing season for Burnley last year. Ridiculous amount of clean sheets. Afternoon to Malcolm. This season could be very tense. Chelsea looking good for Baxi and me. Chelsea did look good yesterday. I watched it at, was it 5 something this morning for me. Although I would have loved to have known Chelsea's thoughts when Paqueta screamer. I thought that Sanchez should have done a lot better for me. He went at it with the wrong arm. Tottenham pressing Man City right back into their own box here. Not letting them out in any way, shape or form. Tottenham started really well at the Etihad. But yeah, Chelsea looked very good. Very, very good. I still think West Ham defensively was shocking. All of those goals could have been dealt with far better, but Chelsea looked good, especially without Cole Palmer. I think, you know, so many people talk about the fact with Cole Palmer that if Chelsea don't have him ticking, then Chelsea don't win. Well, Esteval might be able to do that. Marmoush here, down to the left. Good save by Vicario. City look dangerous when they get on the edge of the Tottenham box. Quick 1-2 intricate passes. Marmoush geeing up the City crowd. Vicario did well there. Closed down the space, gave him absolutely nowhere to go. You did, Malcolm. I remember you questioned West Ham. I question West Ham immensely now. You know, and it doesn't all sit with Graham Potter for me either. I think that's the easy way out. Malcolm, obviously, Chelsea and whatever else. Go check out a video I posted. Would have been overnight for you guys, or early hours of this morning for you. A rundown of the West Ham 1, Chelsea 5. Give you opinion on both sides of it. Very objectively, no bias either. So go check that one out, my man, and stick a little like on it for me or a comment to let me know what your thoughts are. Esteval, though, massively, massively impressed with Esteval. Tottenham will take a lot of heart from this. Positive. Seen it. Thanks, Malcolm. Appreciated. The notification bell is working. Are you out in the garden today? Snails and everything else? Summer is finishing in the UK. It won't be long till the old Bovril's out at half time. Van der Ven's got it. City are really happy to let Tottenham have the ball in these areas. They're pressing them, not hard, but they're pressing them. It's like a boxing match at the moment. I think it's good, Craig, that you agree that Isak goes. Question for you: if he stays because you don't have another striker, do you think he would play again? Neighbours banging the shed together. There you go. I don't think Craig cares if he goes to Liverpool. It's all about the price for Craig. That's how Craig sees the situation with Isak. It could be Arsenal, Man United, Sunderland, but for Craig, the price is 150. Nuri's down on the floor at the moment. Rodri on the bench. Manchester City are going to be absolutely desperate to get him back. I'm sure I can hear Spurs fans singing "We Want Levy Out" as well. Window's not finished yet, Spurs fans. It could still be a positive one. Interesting that people think Isak may have to go abroad. I don't see anyone other than the Saudis, which he's not going to go to. I don't know where he goes to go abroad. Real Madrid haven't got the money, and nor do they need him. Barcelona certainly haven't got the money, and no one in Italy has. Bayern Munich have got Harry Kane, and they want others as well. So for me, I probably agree that it's Liverpool or nothing. And then he does sit. Afternoon to Matt. Love to see Spurs smash City here. I wouldn't mind this being a draw. I wouldn't mind. The Spurs winning also helps, in all honesty, because I don't think they're finishing the Champions League, if I'm being honest. Ball being knocked around in the middle of the park. Just slowed down following Aït-Nouri's little injury. He's back up on his feet at the moment. Went with 15 and night. Didn't quite work. Still 0-0. Fed up of doing streams where you get 0-0s. I want goals so I can lose my head. Mamouche's got it with a shot. Blocked by Vicario. Haaland can't react. First City pressing. When City get it in that edge of the 18-yard box, there's 5 or 6 players all around the Tottenham back line. Yeah, Arsenal Leeds should be good. Looking forward to doing the watch along for that one. Got Leeds to score first in that one, but Arsenal to win 3-1. Sure am. 5-15 for Arsenal versus Leeds. I think Leeds and Sunderland have done so well. Afternoon to Baxi. If you wanted goals, you should have done Chelsea. I know, very impressed. How good Baxi was. I can't think of his name now. Esteval, unbelievable young Premier League player of the season. I think Man City come forward again here into the wall, into the Romero and Van de Ven deal with it. Baxi, have you checked out the review of West Ham versus Chelsea on the YouTube channel, my friend? Make sure you go and smash a little like on that one for me. Definitely give me your opinion as well. I was very, very unbiased towards Chelsea in it as well. Okay, Aït-Nouri is definitely coming off in a minute. He looks like a young Mo Salah. United should have beaten Arsenal in game 1, right? They should have, but they didn't. History says it was 1-0 to the Arsenal. Brentford don't know what price they want for Wissa. They're playing their own transfer merry-go-round. I think the Wissa price will drop. Brentford cannot afford for him to go for nothing. He's not going to play. Again, similar situation to Isak. Johan Wissa's never going to play for Brentford again. So I think the deal will be done between Newcastle and Brentford, and I think it'll be 45 million plus 5 in add-ons is what I believe it will be. If that's the going rate, given you've done a Langer for 50s, and others have gone for 50 million this year as well, Madueke and stuff like that, then a player that scores 19 league goals in a season and no penalties, as Craig has reminded me in the past, is for me worth 50 million pounds of anyone's money. 5 without Palmer could have been more, but we're a one-man team. I never said that you're a one-man team. Yeah, he is training, but it doesn't mean he's going to play again, though. Aït-Nouri's down on the ground, 20 on the clock. Nathan Ake's about to come on. I think it's okay for Brentford to demand what they want. I just think the strange ones being the difference between Brentford and Newcastle, and I support neither, is that I don't believe that Newcastle have necessarily moved the price, where I believe Brentford definitely have moved the price. And I think that's a little bit harder for clubs. Welcome to those currently watching at the moment. Thank you very much. Make sure you're smashing the like button. Tell me who's going to win if you have only just joined us. Love to know your opinion as Nathan Aki comes on for 8 Newry. Disappointing way to end your home league debut. Disappointing for 8 Newry. Such a good left back. There's so many good left backs in the Premier League these days. Mr. Consistent, Nathan Ake coming on. Play right back, left centre back, centre midfield. Good footballer. Another one that Chelsea let go. Just a reminder, guys, obviously Monday, there'll be a couple of videos out tomorrow, breakdowns of some of these games as well for you guys to wake up to. But make sure you check out the videos out on Sunday, and then obviously Monday, we'll be reviewing all of the games that have been played from over the weekend. The phone lines will be open for you guys to come in and air your opinions to 11 a.m. UK time here on the Footy Social Club. Join Gaz and myself for that one. And then obviously the big one, Newcastle versus Liverpool on Monday evening, 7:30 p.m. UK time. I will be online, ready for the rants, ready for Newcastle fans, Liverpool fans. The phone lines for that one are going to be open for the entire watch-along. So I know Craig is going to be making a few appearances on that one. Already spoken to him separately. Looking forward to having him on the show, getting his opinion before the game as a Newcastle fan, and half-time and full-time. So yeah, excited for that one. Benton Cusby impressed on the ball. Spurs look so much better defensively under Thomas Frank than what they did under the Australian and Postecoglou. Ball spread by Spence. Kudus can't keep it in. Thomas Frank approves of that. Just what we got, 25 on the clock. Can't wait for Craig's tears. Chelsea title challengers for this season, absolutely. I 100% think that Chelsea are right in the title race this year. They're going to take points off of the so-called ones that are, I suppose, what people guarantee as challengers, the Arsenals, the Liverpools, the Manchester Cities. Chelsea are right in there for me. They'll take points off of a lot of teams. And they're not done in this window either. I sense a bit of a rift, though, between Maresca and the board currently, and that's obviously in relation to the Levi Colwell situation, being that he's out with a long-term injury, and obviously Maresca doesn't want certain players that are still at the club. It feels like to me that Maresca almost doesn't appreciate the fact that Chelsea have got to offload probably before they can finalise some of their spending, and maybe he's taken the opinion of, well, I'm the manager, I'm there to get results, it's not my issue. 3 attempts on target for City so far, only one shot between the two teams on target. Mamouche starting to find a lot of room on the left-hand side, can't control it. Ball's in the middle of the pitch. Baxi on the wind-up. Chelsea have rebuilt a great club which should not have suffered. I wouldn't say people are terrified, but I think people respect where Chelsea are at more than maybe last year. I think Maresca's earned his stripes. Few loose balls being sprayed around here by Manchester City. I think that Maresca's earned his stripes following the fact that he got Chelsea into the Champions League last year. He won the Conference League. And believe it or not, whether people think the Club World Cup's a tin pot club, a cup competition or not, delivering that and winning it against PSG, I think he deserves a huge amount of credit for. Chelsea will be not feared, but certainly, recognised more than what they were last year. Guys, just want to confirm one thing. Got something on my stream that says I've got a bitrate issue. Not sure it's done an update. Let us know if my sound cuts in and out if you can. Thank you very much. Or if it's been absolutely normal, a thumbs up or smash the little love heart thing on the screen. Anything that lets me know that there's been no issues would be appreciated. Haaland has the ball here coming forward. Ball through. Chance. Big save from Vicario Mamouche. One-on-one, great ball through from Erling Haaland. That could have been the deadlock, but Mamouche, who's had now City's first and best 2 chances. Normal, thank you very much. We'll ignore it then. I always watch them back. Cherky's been quiet in this game so far. Big save that from Vicario. Known for his shot stopping, not so much his catching of the ball. City camping themselves inside the Tottenham half. Free kick to them as well. Yeah, I agree, Craigie. 100% has got to finish it. It's a great run from Erling Haaland as well. He looks so much stronger. Great ball through. Cut open the Spurs defence. Like a knife through butter. Mamouche's strike was wrong as well. He's got to dink that. He doesn't need to hit it hard. Vicario's committing. He's going down. He's low. Dink it. Sat him down on his backside. Free kick to Manchester City. 15 minutes to half time. Fancy we'll see Jeremy Doku today at some point. I think we might see Rodri as well. Spurs got a chance to break here. Kudus with the ball. Big fan of Mohamed Kudus since his Ajax days, to be honest. I remember when he joined West Ham, sitting doing a 3 p.m. stream and saying just how good Mohamed Kudus was, and Gaz and I think it was Matt at the time had never heard. Well, I think it was definitely Gaz. Never heard of him. Don't know anything about him. He does now. He does now. Walt still not made a move either. Is Gaz on at half time? I've messaged him, but he hasn't said anything yet. We'll see if we can get him on. See what we can do. Be good to get his thoughts on how he sees the game. Gaz will be very happy. He expected that Manchester City would win this game 1-0. He'd certainly be happy with how it is if it's 0-0 at half time. James Trafford is certainly not as comfortable on the ball as Ederson with it at his feet. Gaz is shook. He's hurt too much from the Super Cup to do a live stream about Spurs. Gaz is distraught from the fact that Eze is signed for Arsenal, Baxi. Yeah, I see Frimpong's injured. Is Bradley back? I was trying to look that up. I meant to double check. Is Bradley back in training, or do we expect Endo to play at right back for Liverpool on Monday night? I know that you've got Joe Gomez as well that can play there. I'm not a fan of Joe Gomez. He's never, ever achieved what he should have in the game. Before people say he's won trophies. Yeah, but he's not really contributed. Gaz needs a cuddle. That'd be a big cuddle to give that man a cuddle. Ball's back with Vicario in bright orange say. Looks like he's been tangoed. Bristol Rovers' first win of the season inbound today. Baxi, from a objective point of view, without putting your Chelsea glasses on, what do you think of what do you think of West Ham? Do you think West Ham can play their way out of it? However bad they were against Chelsea, and they were shocking. Waltmade wants Bayern. Stuttgart don't want to deal with Bayern. No one in Germany outside of likes dealing with Bayern Munich unless you're Borussia Dortmund. They do, yeah. Yup. Waltmade seen as the successor to Kane, right? I think this would be Kane's last season in the Bundesliga. He's now won, 2 trophies? He doesn't need much more. Come back now and take Shearer's record, maybe. I think he's still got unfinished business in the Premier League. Yeah, I was looking at the players that West Ham have got rid of over the summer. Fabianski, Ings, Cresswell, Kufal, Antonio. They got rid of so much experience in that team, which is clearly a call by Potter. You know, his stock falls so fast. Yellow card for Brennan Johnson. I want a yellowcard.com, says Brennan Johnson. Still. Spurs, Thomas Frank will be so happy. Spurs will be happy. Guardiola, patient. Kane to Newcastle, perhaps. Can you imagine if Kane goes to Newcastle and beats Shearer's record, a local? Newcastle fans will be praying he doesn't do it. Oh, Reinders, Cherky. I tell you what, I've cursed Tijani Reinders. I put him in my FPL team and he's been rubbish. Chance here, Richarlison in. Johnson, 1-0 to Tottenham. Gaz will be, it's offside. Oh, Gaz would have been dancing. Thomas Frank applauds. Brilliant break that. Johnson finished it. It'll be checked. Oh, it's tight. Richarlison's just offside, I think. Great ball from Richarlison. Great finish from Brennan Johnson as well. Johnson's definitely offside. It's being checked by VAR. This would throw a cat amongst the pigeons. Oh, I tell you what, from that angle, it looks onside. The arm of John Stones, what I can see on screen, John Stones and Richarlison, if they were holding, it is so close. It'll be the thick, from that, too hard to tell. So tight. Andy Madley is in the VAR hot seat. Has he had any drawing lessons on Canva this week? It's going to be a goal. Tottenham lead 1-0 at the Etihad. Oh my God. Spurs fans, Thomas Frank will be delighted. Wow. Wow, Brennan Johnson, the man that gave Tottenham their first trophy in over 20 years, has put Tottenham ahead. It's been a shit week for the Whites, but they are leading 1-0 now. Now I'm sure Gaz will want to come on. Ball into the box by Richarlison. Brennan Johnson, first time finish. Trafford could do nothing. Thomas Frank. Ange who? Ange Postecoglou who? Spurs lead 1-0. 7 minutes till half time. First goal I have, second goal I've called on a watch-along. Tottenham fans sing. Man City fans can only sing if it's Oasis. Good afternoon to my stepdad, Paul. What a bet. Hope you're well, Paul. Tough week. Much love. Not talking about the Eze situation either. What a belter. Absolutely, my man. Probably in the pub, I would have thought. Saturday, what is it, 10 past 1? Richarlison again as well. Spoke about it before the game kicked off. That man is in form. Why Daniel Levy tried to ship him to Crystal Palace. Gaz has put a thumbs up. He is keen to come on at half time. I will sort him a link. James Trafford and Kudus collide. Edge of the box. Referee says play on. Manchester City. Tottenham player goes down edge of the box. Porro, I think it is. Porro's down. Referee's not having it. VAR will check it. Game's heated up. They are looking at it. Tottenham calmly deal with it. Ball's going to go out of play here. This will now be looked at. And while we're doing that, Porro is down. VAR is looking at it. Porro. Oh, soft. Soft at best. Soft cock for me. Dodgy Portuguese diving. In my world. Make sure you guys are hitting that like button for me. Thank you very much. If you're new here, make sure you're subscribing as well. I will be back after the Spurs game for the Arsenal game at 5:15 UK time. Game's just held up. Right, that gives me an opportunity to get this set up for Gaz. Tottenham fans singing loud. Tottenham, just looking back again, Richarlison's done so well there. Jury's out at the moment a little bit on James Trafford as he gets used to dealing with playing in the bigger clubs. Just linking a device. The big man will be giving it all. It'll be Eze who when Gaz comes on. Right, he's got the link, guys. He's got the link. Get my stream stuff all back together. Catch up on any of those chats. Appreciate those of you in here as well. Paul loves Pedro Porro. I think Pedro Porro is good. He's just got, I don't like the diving. I do not like the diving. Craig, have you emailed that to me or did you send it to me on WhatsApp? Oh, the striker search. I know which one you mean. Yeah, I'll put that on Monday. I'll put that on for sure. Brilliant. I think Semenyo can totally play like another Isak. Do we think that Semenyo could be got out of Bournemouth so late in this window? Bournemouth are depleted from signings this, from defenders being taken away, goalkeepers and whatever else. They can't afford to lose Semenyo. Spurs have got it here. They break and come across the Man City halfway line with Richarlison. The beast Richarlison this year. Papa Sarr. Spurs fancying this. Two to half time. Craig, your football, like so many of you as well, your football knowledge across Europe is phenomenal. I used to think I was good. Nearly half time. Remember, Brennan Johnson smashed smashed Spurs into the lead. First half has flown by. Can Tottenham nick another one before half time? That's what Van de Ven does that so well when he picks the ball up and comes forward with it. Seven minutes of injury time on their way. Tottenham fans singing Mickey Van de Ven. Spurs have been good. Spurs again. Corner to Tottenham. Craig, can you do me a favour? Can you shoot me a WhatsApp link to his stuff, please? Get him in, Baxi. Get him in. Corner to Tottenham. Kudus is going to take it. Can Spurs nick another? Richarlison hits the post. It's going to be retaken though. Thanks, Craig. Romero trying to wind up James Trafford. Classic Argentinian move. Any good thing to come out of Argentina is the beef, not the player. Corner to be retaken. Spurs camped at the back post. They actually have a set piece coach this season. In swinger. Thanks, Craig. I've got the message. Another goal kick to Manchester City. Richarlison, big save from Trafford. 2-0 to Tottenham. Gaz is going to be flying. João Palhinha smashes the ball into the net. 6s and 7s from Manchester City. James Trafford is having a nightmare on his home debut. An absolute nightmare. Pep Guardiola. They were so good against Wolves last week. They have been awful at the back. They must have caught something at Molineux. Spurs do not care. They lead 2-0. Tottenham 2, Man City 0, Dreamland. Gary, you should have been on here. Shocking from the goalkeeper. Pep will not like it. Why? Why is Ruben Diaz taking the goal kick? That should be James Trafford taking that. Tottenham press. Good save from Trafford. Smashed and grab from Tottenham. Wow. Who had this? No one. We could be in for one hell of a second half. Good finish from Palhinha. Diaz tried to keep it. Spurs fans are weak to forget they're in Dreamland. Dreamland currently. Enjoy those chores, Malcolm. We'll see you later on. Thoughts of Edison? Tottenham fans singing Champions of Europe. Trafford or Agent Old Trafford. Absolutely. It's been a shocking first half from James Trafford. A man I said would be England's next #1. As it currently stands, Jordan Pickford's spot looks very, very safe. Man City have been wasteful in the final third. Loose balls, poor passes. There'll be changes at half-time. I am going to say that Pep's going to gamble and he's going to put Rodri on. Get hold of this midfield. And I reckon you'll see Bernardo Silva for Oscar Bob. See how right I am. Paul says that the Spurs don't need Eze. We shall see. One game doesn't make a season. Jealousy gets you nowhere. For Liverpool fans, 0 recruiting. For myself, this is a great result considering no one thinks Spurs finish top 5 this year. Gaz will be gearing up to come on the show anytime now. Corner cleared by Spurs. They're just all they have to do now is hit City on the break. 2 minutes left of the first half. Baxi, one thing I don't do in life is jealousy, my friend. Never done it, never will. Marmoush has the ball left-hand side. City need a reaction before half-time. Marmoush has had City's 2 best chances. Should have scored on the one-on-one. Cherky with the ball to the back post. Cleared by Palhinha. He's had a good first half. %. I think this is Pep's last season. World Cup year as well. Managers always go. I think he's destined for an international job and a slower paddock life that's not the week in, week out of the Premier League. Don't forget as well, he's had a lot going on in his personal life that would have taken a lot from him. Ramsdale's a good keeper, Craig. He's brilliant with his feet. Ball in from Mamouche, cleared. 100% we're going to see Rodri and Bernardo Silva. 100%. Oscar Bob. Quick corner taken by Manchester City. This has got to go in the box. In from Cherky. Haaland up! Oh, that was a chance. Pep misses Klopp. Baxi on the wind-up. Tottenham 2, Manchester City 0. Kolo Toure on the bench for Manchester City. They could have done with his skills in defence today. Former Arsenal man, former Manchester City player as well. Boos ring around. It's Manchester City that go in at half-time losing. No one would have said that. No one. Pep with work to do. Tottenham in dreamland, something they haven't been in this week. Much more of a nightmare. Johnson with the first and Paulinia with the second. Let's see if we can get the big man on the show. We love our dog, Craig. We love our dog. Why they called him Win though, God knows. Right, let's hope the big man will get himself on. Seeing waxing lyrical about how good Spurs are. That's what I'm expecting. Hey to Andy, hope you're well, my friend. Just logged in. It's been an unbelievable. Kolo coming on, absolutely. Did you hear the story about Kolo Toure when he was playing? I can't remember who he's playing for. I think Liverpool. So he's married, and he ends up dating some student whilst he's married, and she has no idea he's a footballer until she takes a photo of him. And I think the story goes, she texts it to someone and they respond and say, "Why is Kolo Toure at your apartment?" In which she has no idea who he is. What's this? What on earth is this warm, fuzzy feeling I feel? Oh, City are losing 2-0. Manchester City. Tottenham are Manchester City's bogey team. MFS is back in it as well. Spurs would win. Trying to get the big man on. He's not here yet. I'm sure he will come on in a moment. Gazzu was too nervous to come on and do this. It's been a very, very assured performance by Thomas Frank's team in the first half. I've been impressed with how they've played out from the back. I've been impressed with how they have pressed the Manchester City back line. I said at the start of the game that the centre-halves worry me for Manchester City. The pace there. They've struggled with Ake at left-back. Even though he can do a job, they're better with Aït-Nouri there. Romero and Van de Ven have done well. They've only had that one clear opportunity for Mamouche where Vicario stood strong to keep it out. There was that header from Haaland as well and the death of half-time. But in all honesty, for Spurs being the away team, they have been very, very comfortable. Rodrigo Bentancur has had a very good first half as well. 42% possession is a very, very good percentage for Tottenham, considering that Guardiola loves percentage-based football, and to consider that Spurs have had 181 passes against Manchester City's 242 tells you that they are very, very much in the game. Very much in the game. Here he is. I can hear him in my ears. Oh, he's gone on. He's gone into his studio. Give me 2 seconds. Let me get him in. Now, we'll soon. 1 second. Just waiting for it to come in. Just give me 1 second. Oh, there he is. He's looking dishevelled. It must be the celebrations. Let's bring the big man in. Here he is, Gaz. 2-0 at half-time, Gaz. Give me your reaction, my man.
Oh, Johnson again. Ole, ole. No, great, mate. Happy days. All looking good so far. No, we looked all right. I think, I mean, City started off well. But I think we've come into the game a bit more. We've been very direct. Richarlison holding the ball up and... yeah, it was close for an offside goal, but I thought he was on. As soon as I thought that was
the second angle that I saw on my screen here on the Premier League world. The first one, he looked off. Yeah. The second one, I was all that. They looked like they were holding hands almost.
Yeah,
it's fingernails in it. I would say.
But the one is the linesman was his side as well. So very rare they get them wrong because he's only probably 15 yards away from it. But he got it wrong. I thought, God, that's tight. And then obviously, tap back stick for Johnson. And then obviously Paulinho. I think Paulinho has been brilliant. And Sarr in midfield. They've really bossed that midfield. And
Bentancur's played well as well for me.
Bentancur's been good. Yeah, the whole midfield's like robust. It's very robust. And that's what we need against City.
Considering last season, Gaz, how much you were an Ange Postecoglou supporter, is watching this, the way that there's a clear game plan. Hit City, pass it out from the back, try and pass it past them, and then get bodies in around their centre halves, press them in deep. It's working. It's been there's a clear game plan. Spurs are a different team this season.
Yeah. It's looking good so far. But mind you, it was looking good in the PSG game. So it was very similar. If anything, we was more dominant against PSG, and we still managed to bloody cut that up. So let's hopefully second half, maintain the same. But we look all right. We look good. And obviously Solanke seems to be second pick now. I mean, from
my bet's looking good, mate. My bet's
it's looking good for you. It's not going to be. It's going to be a bit harsh if he doesn't play.
It's not my fault. It's not my fault.
We'll have to change it. We'll have to change it to Richarlison instead. We'll have to change it to Richarlison. He's already 2 ahead.
Give me your thoughts on Richarlison. Given the fact that Levy tried to farm him out to Palace as part of the deal that fell through with Eze, he once again has looked instrumental in everything Tottenham are doing well here.
Yeah. Well, here's one for you. I mean, a stat come on the screen today, which kind of shocked me, really. And I always said to you, when Richarlison plays, he's fantastic. He just doesn't play enough because he's always injured. But he's got the best record, something like 13 goals in the last 16 games he's played, which is mad. But then that's probably stretched out over like a period of probably a season. Do you know what I mean? Because he's been injured. But 13 goals in the last 16 games that he's played is good stuff, really, when you think about it. That's why his minutes to ratio is very good, and that's why he's playing. No, he seems to be rejuvenated. But I think kudos makes a big difference as well. He's always causes problems. He's a couple of times there he's gone through. He took that one on his chest. I thought it was a foul, actually. Yeah, I thought that could have been. That was definitely a foul in the end of the box.
What do you make of the Porro penalty call? For me, it was too soft.
Nah, a bit soft. He stood on his foot, but it was. I think one foot was out, one foot was in. I was a bit soft. I wasn't really calling for a penalty there.
Yeah.
Even though I shouted at the time, but when I see it back, I was thinking, no.
What do Spurs do here now, Gaz, going into the second half? I'm expecting changes from City. I think Rodri will come on. I think Bernardo Silva will come on as well.
Yeah.
You talked about the fact that Spurs have controlled the midfield.
Yeah. At some point, Danzo's going to come on, I think, and probably block it up a little bit more, just to probably go 3 at the back and allow Spence. But the problem is Marmoush looks dangerous, doesn't he? On that one side,
wasteful.
He's there.
Wasteful.
Yeah, a little bit wasteful, but he looks the main threat on that sort of side for Porro. So you don't really want Porro going up too high, really, and that's the problem. So if you do put 3 at the back, Porro will want to go up a little bit more. Then obviously probably Romero can cover him and that, but I'll keep it as it is at the minute. I was very surprised at the formation, to be honest. 4-3-3. I wasn't expecting that at all.
We were talking during the week. You thought 3 for this game.
Yeah, I thought it'd been 3-5-2 myself. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I was very surprised. I was very surprised with the formation. And when I see the formation, I thought, we're having a bit of a go here. And yeah, we have had a go.
What do you expect in return from City in this second half? Do you expect anything different?
Uh, Really, I think they've got that Oscar Bob. I thought's been good. I just think they need to, if they want to get any joy out of Spurs, they probably need to. It needs to come from the midfield. Tottenham are dominating the midfield.
That's why I think Rodri comes in, Bernardo Silva comes in.
You're going to need that, but we've got a good midfield. I mean, Bergvall could come on as well. We've got a good midfield there. Archie Gray played fantastic the other day against Burnley. So no, we've got cover in there. That's not our problem. Our the central midfield isn't our problem. It's more of the the attacking side of things. But like I said, we're 2-0 up. Let's try and steer this one home. But I'd be saying, keep going, guys. Keep going. Yeah. I won't be making any subs yet, anyway.
No, absolutely not. But he's got to get them right. I think for me, I hope he learned something from the PSG game. Richarlison must stay on the link up. Him and Kudus. Richarlison will be thanking the fact that Frank believes in him, but Kudus plays a huge part as well. Their link up play is probably something that no one expected.
Yeah, I think Odebear might come on the left because obviously Johnson's injured. No, not injured. Johnson's picked up a booking, didn't he, for that petulant kick the ball away. So eventually, I think he'll come off. So I wouldn't surprise if Odebear does come off. But if he doesn't, what he might do is bring Johnson off and bring Danzo, and then just go 3-5-2, keep the midfield as it is. Or if there's anyone that's do like for maybe with Bergvall with someone. But yeah, they might change up that and just have Richarlison up top on his own with a free roll of Kudos behind.
Baxi just said Mark Hughes again. Ole, ole. Mark Hughes again. Sterling's just dropped in, Gaz. He says, hey, mate, sorry I've been late on a class. How's the game been so far? I'll let you explain in a nutshell.
Yeah, it's been good. I mean, I say it starts off City, then Spurs really got into it, and they've looked really good, to be honest. On the attacking front, Spurs have been, clinical, very, very clinical. But mainly they bossed the midfield. That's the difference. And, towards the end, City were really sort of struggling. I mean, if it would have carried on, City was glad. I think City was happy for half time. Normally, you'd think the side that's 2-0 up would be happy for half time, but no, City were were happy at half time. For halftime to make changes and things. So
changes, I reckon.
I'm seeing big differences from City's second half.
We'll see. I'll let you go, Gaz, because I know you want to get yourself settled, ready. Second half is moments away. Will you do me a favour at the end of the game, win, lose or draw? Will you just come on and just give your reaction to the second half for 2-3 minutes just before we wrap up the show?
Of course I will. Yeah,
I'll leave that link open. Thank you very much, Gaz, man. I'll speak to you straight after. Cheers, Gaz. Gaz in there giving his reaction to Tottenham leading at the Etihad at half time. Nothing anybody expected whatsoever, if I'm honest. Going back to the preview shows, the prediction shows, today's predictions as well. No one had MFS had a Tottenham win. I do stand corrected there. Daniel says next goal so important. Game on. It certainly is. And Tottenham's mind will come back onto that PSG game if City score first. However, there's a difference. City are not playing anything like PSG played. So we'll see what happens. We will see indeed. Mark Hughes again. Yeah, I love that. Absolutely love that. What do we reckon then, guys? Give me your second half predictions. Are Tottenham going to see this game out, or are Manchester City going to find their way back into it? Could he just get rid of James Trafford now? Maybe Manchester City will reignite the Donnarumma deal based on what James Trafford's just witnessed and been part of, which was not great, was it, to be honest? Remember, there's plenty of 3 p.m. games today. Bournemouth Wolves, Brentford Villa. How's that one going to go? Others as well. We're back at 5:30 tonight. He must have a 10 out of 10 game. Haaland hat-trick, says Craig. Going to be interesting. Joleon Lescott on my screen at the moment. Daniel says, Christian, we know the history of Spurs. Look, Daniel, I will wind up Spurs fans and Gaz where I can. But from a neutral's perspective, they've been very, very good. And for me, thoroughly deserved their lead in this game. Thoroughly deserved their lead. Tim Sherwood. Tim Sherwood honestly chats some absolute waffle. Thought I could be bad. Jesus, Tim Sherwood on Premier League World, my God. Oh, well, my score's out the window because I had 2-1. I want Spurs, I want City to score to make it more interesting, but I really do not care. Halftime interviews, boo. Who got interviewed on? Is it on? What's it on in the UK? Is it on Amazon? I don't know what it is on over there. I don't see that stuff anymore. But I'm not a fan of those halftime interview things. I just don't get it. Christian, here the clip of it's the history of Spurs. Okay. If City gets next goal, it's game on. It certainly will be. Certainly will be. But if Tottenham play the way they did, it won't matter what City do. They won't score. TNT Sports. Yeah, okay. Here I'm seeing it now. Thomas Frank being interviewed. I'll just have a quick listen. Frank very relaxed, talking about the fact that he wants to see some better passing. Wants the high pressure. That's evident the way Tottenham have been doing that in the first half. I spoke to Gaz about that. Out comes Pep Guardiola. James Trafford's got an awful haircut and I'm not jealous about it. Thank you, Paul. Go on, Paul. What's the Tottenham score? What's this game going to finish up? Are you confident? Here we go. City to kick off the second half. They're in the centre circle. No changes yet, but I expect them. Here we go. Game back underway. Spurs 45 minutes away. That is currently now 6-0 to Tottenham in goals over the last 2 games at the Etihad. City will score, says Paul, and a 3-1 win to Tottenham. That would put you guys top. You are top of the league as it stands. Bournemouth, Wolves, Brentford, Villa, Burnley, Sunderland, and Arsenal Leeds. Me versus my mother at 5:30 today. Looking forward to that Palace Forest game. Give me your opinions on Nuno as well. Will he be in charge? Jed Spence here for Spurs down the left-hand side. Richarlison's down. Jed Spence has got it. Richarlison remains down. Now Spurs want it back. Richarlison's up. Ironic cheers. Thank you to those watching today. Good evening to Gavin. I wondered where Jeremy Kyle went. He sat next to Pep on the bench. Jeremy Kyle. What's the American guy? Jerry Springer. God, dear, oh dear. Remember those ones? James Trafford had an awful first half for Manchester City. Be interested to know what Pep Guardiola said to him. Oh, Kudus loses it to Oscar Bob. Changed my prediction. 18-1 Spurs, says Andy. I know plenty of people that would like that. Richarlison, the second best Brazilian in the league. Cherky, great ball through. Aki lines it up. Blocked, good block. Polina sliding in to screen that Tottenham back line. Smash that like button, guys, if you haven't done so already. Make sure you're joining me at 5:15 today for Arsenal Leeds as well. Oscar Bob with the ball. Thank you as well, and welcome to everyone that has subscribed to the Footy Social Club in the last 7 days. 312 new subscribers. Momentum, we continue to grow. This time last year, we were on, going into game week 1, we were on, Daniel Knight will remember, about 1,700 subscribers. Here we are now at approaching 11,500. The target is 30,000 before the end of this season. Spread the word to all of your friends that are football fans. Let's build the community. The YouTube channel that cares about its subscribers and doesn't ask for any money. Oscar Bob with it. Baxi was there, yeah. You were there as well, Baxi, I remember. I remember the conversation with you afterwards. You're like, keep at it. It's good. Can't see Solanke getting many with this setup. The 100 quid looks good, mate. Doesn't it just? Doesn't it just? Chelsea, London clubs winning. I think Tottenham will win the FA Cup. I think Brighton are going to win the League Cup this year. I don't know why. So they're not London. That's it. Premier League, I think, will be Liverpool as it stands. And that's all of it. Palace won the Community Shield, so there's your other London one. Champions League this year for me will be, I think, one of Liverpool or Bayern Munich. I haven't seen any major transfer news over the last. There's rumours that Johan Wissa is going to feature for Brentford today. Would love your thoughts on that. Keith Andrews has said that Johan Wissa could be part of Brentford's first 11. That would be amazing if that was the case. We'll keep an eye out for that. Could PSG do a back-to-back in the Champions League? No, I don't think so. I actually think that they're weaker with Chevalier in goal. Although he is a good goalkeeper, don't underestimate how well Donnarumma did for them in the Champions League last year as well, especially with some of his shithousery from corners and whatever else. I've got the Brentford team. Who have we got? Kelleher. No, Wissa doesn't even make the squad. What's the point in saying that and then not picking him, eh? What's the point? City camping inside Tottenham's 18-yard box, but without really hurting them. Eze has completed his medical ahead of the £67.5 million move from Crystal Palace. Craig says that Newcastle are winning the FA Cup. Cherky goes down in the Spurs box. No penalty. City have started a lot brighter. Ball in from Oscar Bob. Haaland's up. Hits him in the face. Can't make him any uglier than what he already is. Mark Cucurella, good news, Chelsea fans. He has confirmed that his contract with the West London club is done. He's become quite the left back. So important for what Chelsea do. Interesting that Savinio's been left out of the Manchester City squad today as well. Remember Serrano blocking the current move from Tottenham for the winger. However, he is being left out, and I wonder if that's to drive the price up. Doku's being called over. Here, Tottenham get themselves in trouble. Haaland! Oh, City can't. Cherky, toe poke, blocked. Van de Ven, free kick Tottenham. Must be something wrong with the end of that pitch. Palace target El Kanous. He's not in the Leicester City squad today. One player looking set to stay at Liverpool this year, and Double M's in here, Zero Requeem's in here as well. Arne Slot talking about the fact that Chiesa is a completely different player this year as Jed Spence picks the ball up for Tottenham on the left-hand side into the box. Pape Sarr. Oh, Trafford picks it up. Ironic cheers. Ruben Diaz and Richarlison. Trafford and Richarlison at 6s and 7s. Diaz steps in. Oh, that's a penalty on Oscar Bob, surely from Van der Ven. Double change. Off comes Shirky. Off comes Marmoush. On comes Bernardo Silva. On comes Doku. Pep's wasting no time. Marmoush has been wasteful. He's had City's best chances of the game. Cherky's been in and out, quiet. Ever reliable Bernardo Silva. Doku will offer something different as well, more direct. He'll get it wide. Trafford with the free kick. Game's back underway. Searches out Doku immediately. Porro deals with it though. Ten minutes gone in the second half. Huge thank you to everyone that smashed that like button already today. Tottenham come forward. Kudus picks it up. Ake deals with it. Burnley's team news today. Dubravka, Walker, Hartman, Esteve, Brun Larsen, Ugachukwu, Foster, Anthony, Ekdal, Cullen and Hannibal. Sunderland's Rofshume, Ballard, Alderete, Ronaldo, Xhaka, Sadiki, Diarra, Toby, Adingra and Mavida. Mayenda, sorry, not Mavida. Mayenda. It'll be a tough game that today. Sunderland could win though. Tottenham can continue to keep winning this midfield against Pep. Kudus with the ball. Ball in. Richarlison's up. Oh, half chance for the Brazilian. Lewis is down. Head. Clash of heads. They seem to be all right. Great ball in that from Pedro Porro. One more goal you feel kills this. The Wissa situation seems so weird. Feels like they have overvalued him, but at the same amount Newcastle have under-offered. I think Wissa's worth. I said earlier, Double M, that I think that deal will get done by Newcastle. I think it'll be 45 plus 5 in add-ons. That's what I think, and I think they'll sell. What do we think will happen with the Isak up to deadline day? I think he goes ultimately. I think Liverpool will come to an agreement with Newcastle for close to 150. I think it'll be in the 1.4s. We shall see City come forward with Bernardo. And again, wasteful from Manchester City. They were silky smooth, clinical last week against Wolves. They've been anything but today against Tottenham. What have we got here? Gavin says that they should start Doku. He's so dangerous. He is. How's Frank playing this, sitting back like they did when they were 2-0 up? Says Matt, against PSG, or is he gonna go for it? Do you think? I think to be honest, Matt, having done the watch along for that one, the change of Richarlison in that game made an issue. They also took off Paulinho as well. And I think as long as he keeps Paulinho and Richarlison on, I think Tottenham will be okay in this game. It's the work off the ball that Richarlison does. He aggravates the likes of Ruben Dias in this game. He aggravates others as well. Paulinho, Bentancur, Papa Sarr have been so good in this game. Tottenham are in complete control in the middle of the park. Tijani Reinders was so good last week. He's been so quiet. Chance here for Spurs. Oh, Johnson overplays it. Jed Spence backs it up. This, Tottenham are in dreamland. Craig says Sunderland will have a canny 5-a-side team when AFCON starts. They will. Get Rodri on is what I would do. I called for it at half time. I wonder how fit he is. Maybe he's not fit enough for the game of this magnitude. I think Chiesa stays because the club has helped fix fitness issues and feel they have saved his career. But nobody will pay more than 10 million for him. Looks like he'll get a chance to prove he's back. They only paid 20 to take him in the first place, right? Nearly 400 of you have watched today's stream so far. I appreciate that. Keeps on growing. Pep with his hands on his hips. Free kick here to Manchester City. Sorry, to Tottenham. Pedro Porro again with the free kick. Correct, Matt? True or false? True. Ball's about to come in. We've got half an hour left to play. Remember, Gaz will be giving his reaction. Ball into the box. Richarlison's up onto the roof of the net. Good free kick that from Pedro Porro. Tottenham playing Man City at their own game. And again, it's another wayward pass. I count that as 6 today already. It's just disjointed. It's so disjointed. Ederson will be back in. Kudus has got the throw in. Craig says everything is breaking for Spurs. City need to work harder. I agree. The work rate's not been there from City. A squad that's won so much, they just expect now. Great ball into the box again. Richarlison up for the header. Just wide. Different animal. If I was Newcastle, put a bid in for Richarlison. Why not? Get Eddie Howe getting him in confidence like that. Can't believe the difference between, well, to be honest, Tottenham have done even better than what they were against Burnley, but Manchester City looks so different compared to what we watched against Wolves last week. Was it a false dawn? Quite possibly. Goal kick. Surprised Phil Foden's maybe not being looked at. City missing De Bruyne. There is Phil Foden on the sidelines and Rodri. Could it be a double change? City have been dreadful this game, says Steve. Completely agree, they have. They really have. They've been disjointed. It was so fluid against Wolves, and it makes you now think Wolves were just too open. Spurs have not let City settle. You know, they've controlled, they've bossed, they've played with confidence. City cannot string 3 passes together. Guardiola looks so frustrated. The holes are there. Is this going to force Manchester City back into the transfer market? City have got it inside their own half. Spurs will be delighted. Thomas Frank will be so happy with what he's seeing. And hear the Spurs fans singing loud. Oh, when the old Spurs go marching in. City fans despondent. Steve says, I think City might struggle against teams that can defend. It's almost a bit like Arsenal with low blocks. Spurs are Tottenham's bogey team. Bayern Munich won 6-0. That could be Simon's last game. Did anyone watch the Watchalong with Mark Goldbridge now that he's got the rights to the Bundesliga on a Friday? Unbelievable from a content creator. People, whether you like him or dislike him, fair play to him for what he's done. Thomas Frank starting to talk to players on the side of the touchline. Instructions here. Dom Solanke looking like he's going to come on. Is that a risk? Given what happened with PSG, his work rate is nothing like Richarlison's. City will struggle against Arsenal and Liverpool. Problem with that. Not sure about Arsenal. Maybe Liverpool. Again, poor, and Kudus, who's worked really hard, brings it away. Again, looking at the ratings, the live ratings you see on screen here. Romero, 7.1. Paulinho, 7.5. Johnson, 7.4. Richarlison, 7.2. The spine of the Tottenham team is working. Daniel, do I think West Ham need a real bit rebuild? They certainly do, but can they afford to? Absolutely, they can't. City go again, but it's sluggish. You know, our Tottenham, our City struggling with the fact that, like Chelsea, they didn't have much of a pre-season because of the Club World Cup. Are they further behind where the likes of Tottenham, Arsenal, and others are? I said so many times last year that Ange Postecoglou causes, you know, so many problems for you know, Tottenham, by his lack of a game plan. Here, there is a clear game plan. Mero's cautioned. Unlucky. Free kick here to Manchester City. Bernardo Silva. What have we got? 68 on the clock. City need to start and react. There's still time. Vicario barking orders. Spurs in a nice straight line. Van der Ven's trying to pick up Haaland. Romero barks at him to get back into line. I feel like this is going to be whipped hard with the hope that it deflects. Whipped in by Silva. Up. Oh, Diaz very close. Oh, good free kick that from Bernardo Silva. The City fans come alive to Johnny Reinders with the corner. Man City's third of the game for those of you betting on corners. Corner again. Big punch from Vicario. He's going to come out to the edge of the box and smashed high over the bar by Rico Lewis. Some watch-alongs are different, says Double M. Just checked on an LFC channel on their rating players' haircuts. Well, that's poor. That's poor. Don't rate hair because I haven't got any of my own. It's hard. They're all different. You know, doing a watch-along, from what I've learned, is some people talk about the game, others talk about just about anything that's going on. It's more like you're sitting down the pub with your mates, I suppose, and the football's on in the corner. I like to talk about the game. That's the game I'm advertising to talk about, as well as whatever else anyone else wants to talk to. But I'll always give it, be interested to know what you guys prefer from a watch along. Obviously, you're in here, so you must enjoy this as well. 6s and 7s again. I hope Gaz is brave enough, Daniel, to do a North London one. Nico's in the book. Nico Gonzalez. Compounds a very frustrating day for Manchester City. The substitutes have had no real impact either, in my opinion, since they've come on. Both Bernardo Silva and Doku, whatever you want to call him. See if we can get that number on the likes up to 25. Let's see if we can push it to 25 before the end of the stream for anyone that hasn't liked already. Rodri still warming up. $20 minutes to go. It's got a bit pedestrian now. Tottenham happy to sit in and frustrate City. A goal in this game now from City would make it a very lively last 20 minutes or so. Haaland's been so quiet as well. Many of people's FPL teams would have been ruined today, I would have reckoned. Brennan Johnson with the ball. Anyone see any shocks in the 3 p.m. games today? Could Wolves maybe snatch one at Bournemouth? Brentford upset Aston Villa? Brentford. All over the top. James Trafford doesn't deal with it. Jesus. Trafford's been awful in goal today. Got to get back to basics. Do what he trusts. Oscar Bob. No free kick. No, free kick given by the ref. Hopefully Gyökeres scores today. Trafford is... Newcastle United seem to have dodged a bullet with James Trafford as it stands. Sunderland to beat Burnley. I've gone 1-1 in that game. Although, if there was to be a winner, I would go with Sunderland, if I'm honest. Double change from City. Rodri and Phil Foden in a last throw of the dice from Pep Guardiola about to come on. Tottenham yet to make a change. Wissa didn't make the squad after all the hints that he would. Yes, stupid. I don't know why managers do that. What's the point? Oscar Bob to come off for Phil Foden. And I reckon it'd be Nico Gonzalez for Rodri. Yep, Gonzalez off as well. Two City heroes on. Manchester now has 2 dysfunctional Traffords. I like that. Rodri well received back onto the pitch. Mate, I took Kudus out for Reinders. What a mistake. Getting relegated as it stands this time. Was that Meatloaf in the crowd? Who knows? Chance here. Corner to City. Poor from Romero, that. Phil Foden to take it. It's going to be an outswinger, this one. Foden outswinger. Up. Rodri nearly scored. Straight at Vicario. Foden to Rodri. Straight at Vicario, who holds. James Trafford seems to be questioning every decision. I've got Wan-Bissaka in my team. He's coming out next week. Spurs set to make a double change. Wilson Odobert and Dom Solanke about to come on. I'm assuming it's going to be for Richarlison, and Brennan Johnson is the first to go. Both played very, very well. Brennan Johnson clapping to the travelling. He gave Spurs the lead in the first half with a beautifully taken left-footed finish, giving James Trafford no chance. Richarlison, the other one coming off, who looks despondent. He works so hard under Thomas Frank in this new system. Dom Solanke coming on. Thomas Frank very, very happy with Richarlison when he comes off there. Dom Solanke with a point to prove. For me, he's not top draw. Man City have had 8 shots to Spurs' 9. Both have had 3 on target. Scoreline says it's something completely different. First international breaks in, I think is it late September? think it's something around there. It's late September, early October. Tottenham pressing Manchester City again. Foden picks up Doku down the left-hand side. City gallop forward. Doku weaving. Oh, great tackle, Van der Ven. What a tackle. Tottenham defending for their lives. Double M says losing 2-0 at home, rough. Great tackle from Van der Ven. Boom. Have that, Phil Foden. Old school Martin Keown style, that. Tottenham fans love it. Tottenham fans will be thinking of PSG. I'm sure Phil Foden's hobbling. Player who's struggled for fitness and form. I feel sorry for Kelleher too. Brentford are going down. He's going to be in for. He's going to get a lot of action, Kelleher, in the coming 37 games of the season. I reckon Foden will be coming back off in a minute. Bad throw that. Tottenham tiring. Can Tottenham manage their way through this game? Porro's got himself into the book, delaying the restart of this game. I see nothing but now Tottenham holding on to this game. The City have done nothing to convince me of anything otherwise. Odegaard's got the ball. We're doing a match review of this one for you guys tomorrow. Tottenham fans cheering. Tell you what, Tottenham look the better, far better team here than Manchester City. Far better. Again, misplaced pass. City have been awful. They've been so bad. They've been wasteful. So lackluster. I really didn't expect this from Manchester City. With how they played against Wolves last week, you now question yourself as it's a false dawn with how they played. Because right now it is poor. Silva hits the bar with a header. Don't think he actually meant that. Spurs thing when the Spurs go marching in. I don't blame them. They've been that good. City fans growing frustrated as we approach the last 7 minutes plus injury time. Remember, Gaz is going to come on and give his final reaction to the game. I know he will be buzzing. Bergval's about to come on for Spurs. It's going to be Kudus that is coming off. Kudus once again has had an unbelievably good game. Tottenham comfortable. Difference was with the PSG game, PSG applied pressure. There's no pressure being applied here by Manchester City in any way, shape or form. It's amateur hour for the citizens. The Etihad will be the empty had, I feel, very, very soon. With how this game is playing out. I'm shocked. I am actually shocked. I thought City would be so much better than this. Back to the drawing board for Pep and his men. He's not so merry men. Doku with the ball. Corner to City yet again. Pep's definitely putting pressure on himself, that's for sure. Corner again. Spurs, Bergval's coming on for Kudus. Spurs have a new hero in Mohamed Kudus, that's for sure. Certainly has not been a smash and grab. Corner here from Tottenham, from Man City. Cleared. It makes no difference whatever City try to do here. Spurs come forward. Bergval. Ooh, Odegaard and wide. Tottenham in complete cruise control. Who's your man of the match, guys? Let me know who you think should be Tottenham's the game's man of the match. I think it's somewhere between Richarlison and Paulinho for me, but I'd love to know your guys' thoughts. If you haven't done so already, make sure you're smashing that like button for me as well. Gaz coming up at the end of the game for some reaction. He might be braver next time round to be on the Footy Social Club when the game's on. Football fans singing. Oh, it sounded like it was Phil Foden, but it's not. On fire. Paulinho for Double M. I think Paulinho has been very, very good. Probably gets it ahead of Richarlison. Tottenham fans singing they want Levy, we want Levy out. Free kick from Foden, which is poor. Tottenham deal with it. Free kick. We are into the last minute and 40 seconds. It's been a bad, bad day. Emptying out of the Etihad as we speak. Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with seeing Manchester City. And I'm an Arsenal fan. There's nothing wrong with seeing Manchester City this season lose games. Tottenham, for me, won't make the Champions League, even with this brilliant start to the season. Tottenham look brilliant. Spurs come forward again. Hope Gyökeres does something against Leeds because he's done nothing against Man United. It's only one game, Daniel. It's only one game. Calm, calm, calm. Yeah, no Donnarumma. He's just not a pep creeper, I agree. But mind you, James Trafford has had a day to forget. Ball into the box. Bergvall deals with it. How many games before Arsenal fans will be convinced Gyökeres is a dud? I'm not convinced he's a dud. Arsenal have got to play to his strengths, though. 4 minutes of injury time, and Danso is coming on. Jalpalini is coming off. Double M's man of the match. Mine too. Thank you very much to Gavin for sending me this one through. Cristiano Ronaldo becomes the first player in history to score 100 goals for 4 different clubs and nation. One more today in the Super Cup final over in the Camel League. Daniel's got some transfer news. Break it for me, Daniel. The floor is yours. Three minutes left. There's only one winner. Spurs come forward again. Mickey van der Ven. Spurs in control. Second time in history that Pep's suffered successive home defeats against the same opposition. Spurs come forward again. Dom Solanke. Put it wide, you muppet. Solanke. Big save from Trafford's not over. Odegaard, big save again from Trafford. Daniel, if you're coming to me with transfer news, you need to let it go, my friend. Good save that. Double save from Trafford. Tottenham fans will enjoy their journey back down the highway, or the motorway, I should say, today. Corner to Spurs. Porro, minute 30 on the clock. Pape Sarr, man of the match for Paul. Good call from Paul. Spurs tied it up. Less than a minute to go. Not long left. Gaz joining me straight after the show to give his reaction to what looks to be Spurs 2, Manchester City 0. Bruno Fernandes, apparently, according to Daniel, targeted by Al Ittihad. This is the first contact he said to have been positive, and he's open to the move. That would be interesting, considering he's had an option already this summer to go and hasn't. And now the season's underway and he's captain. I'm not so sure for me. Not so sure. We're into injury time within injury time. Ironic cheers from Tottenham fans. It's been shocking from Manchester City. Shocking. Thomas Frank masterclass against Pep Guardiola. And that is it. Tottenham 2, Manchester City 0 at the Etihad. No one really saw this coming. No one really saw this coming, did they? Credit to Thomas Frank. Credit to Tottenham as well. Pep Guardiola and Manchester City, for as good as they were last week against Wolves, were just as bad this week. They couldn't string two passes together. They couldn't take their chances. They were wasteful in every department. James Trafford had a nightmare, and Tottenham were able to press them right the way back into their own 6-yard box. MFS saw it, he said, and he did call it. It's been a bad, bad day for Manchester City. It's been a brilliant day for Tottenham. Spurs win this 2-0. That's 6 goals in their last 2 games at the Etihad. And City haven't scored a goal in that time. Well played, Spurs, says Paul. Really happy with that. Come on, you Spurs. That is a huge, huge result. And Tottenham go top of the league this Saturday lunchtime. Following the back-to-back wins, it's, an undefeated start for Thomas Frank's men. He'll be delighted, absolutely delighted. I am pretty sure as well that man Gaz is in the green room. Give me one moment. He is, and he's happy. Gaz, welcome back to the Footy Social Club, my friend. Straight in. Give me an honest review, not the one with Spurs glass on. Just give me an honest breakdown of that result. Congratulations.
I'll take them off. Yeah. It happened again. Pep Guardiola. It happened again.
Not brave enough to come on, Gaz, during the game, but
business as usual.
Give me your honest opinion on how that played out.
Again, just control. I saw man of the match today. Fantastic. Just middle of the park. Bossed them again. They look better when Rodri come on, to be honest. When Rodri come on, I thought they had a little bit more, but no. We've done a proper job on them today. Real focused, very well drilled job. I thought Richarlison was good again. A little bit quieter second half. Bought a lot of fouls as well, which was good. But
he was excellent, Gaz, once again.
Yeah,
excellent.
Yeah. The whole midfield was very narrow, very tight, and City just trying to play through it time and time again, and they couldn't do anything. I mean, when Doku come on, their final ball to go out wide really wasn't anything either. So I mean, you can't play through Tottenham's midfield when we're set up like that. Thought both centre backs was brilliant. Mickey van der Ven, great tackle against Foden there as well. I mean, Romero coming out, winning balls. Love Kuti. I mean, Kuti's brilliant. But yeah, just
Vicario had very little to do. One save in a couple of saves sort of in the first half. The save from, was it Marmoush who went through, and also the one he got down low too. Spurs dominated the midfield. To be honest, Gaz, City did nothing in the second half. They made changes. The big guns came on. Doku, Bernardo Silva, Rodri late on, Phil Foden as well. And it was, they huffed and puffed, but they couldn't blow the Spurs wall down.
That's it. Yeah. I mean, the thing is they just try to go through the middle. But when you look at Tottenham's best attributes today, you got Romero, Van de Ven through the middle, solid. You're getting through them, and then you got Paulinho just in front of them, solid. Then you got Bentancur, Sarr. I mean, you ain't getting through that center, so you've got to go wide. I'm surprised he didn't try and put more pressure, on Spence or Porro. Really, the first half. Marmoush was causing Porro a few little issues on that side.
Yeah.
And then it stopped. It didn't really continue, to be honest. But I think they should have pursued that a little bit more. But everything was going through the middle. And that was tailor-made for Tottenham. Absolutely tailor-made for Tottenham.
It was brilliant, mate. Thomas Frank at half-time talked about the fact trying to press Manchester City as high as possible. And it was amazing to see City press back inside their own 18-yard box. Everything they tried. The biggest thing that stood out for me, and I talked about it during the watch-along, was how many stray passes Manchester City throughout the game. They're just as if they'd never played together.
Yeah. There's definitely a disconnect then with City at the minute. I don't think he knows his best team, to be honest, or they just want to play through you all this great, and it just isn't going to work. When teams set up like that against you, you're playing into their hands. Just you've got two defenders, a sitter, and then you've got three pretty much holding, high classes workhorse midfields in people like Bentancur and Sarr, and Paulinho was fantastic today as well. Yeah. And then obviously the two set, you got five really quality players in that centre of the park. You have to go wide. Thought Kudos was good.
Works
as well.
Socks off, mate.
Works his socks off. Absolutely. He was really helping Porro. That's unusual because Brennan Johnson, as good as he is going forward, he's never really helped as much going back. And obviously, Brennan Johnson would normally be on the right for Tottenham, but Kudos is now playing on the right. Brennan Johnson is playing on the left. I don't know if you noticed this week.
Yeah, 100%.
But he was really helping Porro a lot. And Porro's like, who's this guy helping me? No one normally helps me. Do you know what I mean? And, from being so high up normally. So, yeah, that was really good. Like I said, Eze, we missed out on Eze. I wish we'd have got Eze, of course I do. But if you could get anything like a Kudos like that on the other side in an Eze, we'd look a real good outfit. We really would.
Keeping players like Bentancur fit, keeping players like Van de Ven's hamstrings from popping during the season is going to be massively important. You feel the first 11 looks strong, and I'm going to include Richarlison as the 11. Dom Solanke didn't have much when he came on, but I think if I notice anything from Dom Solanke, and the tweak he's going to have to make is the running off the ball.
Yeah, well, he does that. He's the best at that normally.
I think Richarlison's better.
No. Not a running off. No one covers more of the pitch than Solanke and Kulusevski last year for Spurs. We'll be even better when Kulusevski comes back, I tell you as well. We really will. I think Kulusevski and Kudos, they'll feed off each other. They'll both be running around. I was unlucky in the end not to get three. I thought Odegaard should have probably hit that volley.
Good double save from Trafford.
Yeah, he shouldn't have headed that, in my opinion. I thought he should have hit that on the volley. He had a bit of time to bring it down too. So,
12 shots from Spurs, 10 to Manchester City, 5 on target from Spurs.
Yeah.
In the end, the possessions are 60-40. You'd expect that. Thomas Frank will have no complaints. He will be delighted by what he has seen from his Tottenham team today. Top of the league this lunchtime, Gaz.
Top of the league.
When the Spurs go marching on. Look, unbelievable performance, mate. I thought it was really good. It was, so many MFS down there saying, Gaz, I backed you and whatever else. He was one of the only ones to say that he felt Tottenham could win today. Everyone else had City. Even you had City in the pre-match, and whatever else. But
I thought, when I see the formation, I thought, we're having a go here, though. Because I'm more shocked with the formation, to be honest. I was expecting it to be three at the back. I was expecting Danzo to play. and it to be a bit like, not many goals. I thought it was going to be really tight. I thought it was going to be like 1-0. I really did. I think I had 1-0 City. I was thinking that he might just nick it. But when we come out and went, actually, Brennan Johnson's playing, I was thinking 4-3-3. I'm thinking we're having a go here. I went, this could come unstuck. We're either win or we're going to lose quite heavy here. So
are you shocked how different Man City were compared to how they were last week, Gaz? I know you're going to say, "Oh, Tottenham didn't allow them." I credit that as well, but they were so good last week, and as good as they were last week, they were equally as poor this week.
Yeah, I think it's just levels of the team. The type of people you play against is everything. Tottenham are a top side. I don't care. People say finished 17th and all that from last year. Exactly. We're a top side, top 6 side, and we had a bad season last season, and it's proven this year with just a couple of players. I've always said to you, Tottenham, I'm a realistic Tottenham fan. We're not a million mile away. We're really not. We just need a couple of really quality players. We're only like three or so away. Our robust team is good when they're all fit, and arguably we're going to get stronger when the window isn't over yet. So it'll be interesting to see what happens on this left side.
Savinho left out of the match squad today. Surprised by that?
Yeah. Well, hopefully they're having a bit of glass of wine there now and say sorry about the result, but we do a little deal on Savinho now.
Absolutely.
That's what I'd like to see. But we will see. But for me, like a classic one today. I mean, Odegaard, come on, look good. Don't get me wrong. I think he's good. I like Odegaard, but imagine bringing an Eze on in that game there today. Oh, it would be frightening, wouldn't it?
Got to forget about him, mate. His medical's done at Arsenal. Guys, I'm gonna leave it there. I've got a couple of hours off before I'm back again for the Arsenal versus Leeds game. It is 20 to midnight for me. I'm back at the best part of 2:15 in the morning. Gaz, it's been an incredible result for Spurs today, mate. You sit top of the league. I'm hoping Arsenal will react with more. So by the time I go to bed at about 5 a.m, it will be Arsenal top of the league. But no, guys, thanks very much for all of you that have been in, for liking, subscribing, joining the Footy Social Club, all of your comments as well. I will see those of you that can be with me at 5:15 UK time. From me and that man there on screen, Gaz, we'll see you on the next one.
Cheers, guys.